shit. How's it going?
Good, how you doing, man?
Good.
Good seeing you.
You too. Hey, there's my bike! Kinda, sorta. Probably same year too. Oh, okay, not the same year. Mine's 13. Mine's a little more experienced. Today we are revisiting the Castlegar to Christina Lake rail ride, then carrying on over Santa Rosa Cascade to Rawson, BC on the second annual Bend the Iron ride. Michelle the elitist. We are meeting at the Castlegar A&W for breakfast this year. It was a bigger parking lot than the Tim Hortons where we met last year. It turned out to be a good decision. This ride had 14 riders, where last year's Bend the Iron ride had 10. Of the 14 riders, only 4 were from last year, so I was pleased with the turnout. Some were members from the GO.F.A.R Facebook page, and others found out about us from the Kootenay Dual Sport page, also on Facebook. With scattered clouds, it was shaping up to be a nice day. It had been a very wet spring, and it looked like the weather was finally changing. For a lot of the riders, it was their first time on this trail. A few of the riders were new to dual sporting, so it was a perfect introduction. I think it was James who commented on there being no train tracks. If you recall on Bend the Iron from last season, you had to work your way around the gate and up onto the old rail bed. All this work had been done by the Columbia and Western Trail Society, a non-profit organization based out of Castlegar, BC, with a vision of a safe and accessible trail for all users. The Society partners with many organizations, also dedicated to providing a world-class trail network in British Columbia for all to enjoy. Like last year, we broke off into 2 groups. The fast riders, who like to make this easy ride a little more challenging, and the slower riders. These are usually the newer riders and first-timers on this trail. There's lots to see, so we take our time with frequent stops. It looks like the Trail Society's excellent work ends at McCormick Creek Bridge, 16.8 kilometers from the trailhead. Although the resurfacing and widening only went 16 kilometers, it was evident all along the route how much work had been done all along the rest of the trail. Lots of washouts repaired, slides removed, and the usual clearing of deadfall. The Columbia and Western Trail Society membership is comprised of multi-trail users. They maintain a distance of 85 kilometers of rail and trail from Castlegar to Fife above Christina Lake. There we go. We made our first real stop at Far Creek, a good place to view the lake and to make some adjustments to Brian's bike. Do you want me to tighten it up?
Sure.
This is usually the extent of my toolbox. I have a more complete set, but I rarely bring it.
I don't ride enough to warrant to spend the
After what happened on the next ride, I have reconsidered my preparedness. Stay tuned for that video. There, how's that?
That'll work.
Oh, of course, the bottom would be a bit. That would make sense. Let's make the bottom one a bigger nut. My God, they make this difficult.
Well, that's good, as long as I can see it of it.
I refuse to let it win.
There we go.
There we go. After working on Brian's bike, it was time for a break. Far Creek Bridge is a great stop. A little social time to get to know one another and enjoy the view.
Move on!
There are many engineering marvels including trestles, tunnels, masonry supports, bridges, and historic CPR locations all along the rail trail. Next was Cub Creek Bridge, another nice spot with a good view, but we needed to keep moving. The others will be waiting up ahead. On the first couple of tunnels, a few of the newer riders were tentative, but by this time they had gained their confidence. No matter how many times I ride this trail, it's never boring. There are always spectacular views. Here's another spot where serious work has been done. It looks like there was a major slide. Finally, we catch up to the first group. They were chilled out, already finished lunch, and standing around chatting. A nice long break and we were back on the bikes. This is a weird little jog of the trail, and I wonder if there was a bridge here at one point. In 1998, after mudslides and rock falls had cut off sections of the trail, a major washout occurred. It wasn't far down the trail that everyone had stopped again. I didn't realize we're at the Bulldog Tunnel already. Last year I was on the trail when everyone came through the tunnel. This year I hiked up a hillside through the heavy brush, some steep drop-offs, only to realize my battery was almost completely dead. Between each group I had to turn off the camera to conserve battery. I wasn't sure I was going to get all the shots, but I just made it. The irony is I have 4 batteries, all back at the bike in the tank bag. A nice sweeping gentle grade makes for easy riding. I'd left the other group to catch up to the faster riders, hoping to film them. I was averaging 70 and 80 kilometers an hour, but never managed to catch them. A little rougher terrain here. The dips will come into play later. I will explain. Finally, I gave up my pursuit and decided to get a little creative. I like to film everyone crossing the 1-lane bridge that's coming up, where Harry tried to run me over last year. Luckily, we had this new obstacle, so the boys were good enough to wait for us.
We got that on video, you know that, Tad. Yeah.
Trevor coming through like it's nothing.
Yeah!
Not to be nasty or anything, but if anybody goes down, it'll be new.
Have I really gained the reputation of being that guy?
With his nice shining red crash bars.
Yeah.
Ooh, it is a big washout.
Wagers were made, and I was glad to disappoint them.
Feet up, gas.
Here's Janet making it look easy.
No, this is new. Go, Michelle, go!
This is not Lynn, although it is Lynn's bike. Like Michelle, she decided to walk through it. Never underestimate the power of the milk crate. There was no way I was dropping this bike. Michelle would have killed me. This was where I almost died last year. I was filming and Harry decided I was expendable and tried to run me down. This time I have to worry about Kevin. He seems to have it in for me. Let's see how he does this year. He seems to have mastered it. And I live to film another day. Everyone made it through without incident. Well, except for Kevin. This is Snowslide Bridge. This iron bridge crosses steep parts of the trail where the harsh winters have caused washouts of this section. It's not uncommon to run across other people getting out for a day's leisurely ride, especially closer to either side of the route. Since this is a multi-use trail, we all ride safely and respect other users. Good, the main gate is open. We all remember what happened last year, don't we? Michelle attempted to open the gate with her bike.
Yum, yum. It's time for a tasty and refreshing snack. And now, on with the show.
After a well-deserved break at Christina Lake Ice Creamery, we were back on the road again. Although we had lost half of our group, they went to the other ice cream stand. There'd been a miscommunication about which ice cream parlor we were going to. They'd left us at the bridge, and we had agreed to meet up at the ice cream shop. They didn't realize there were two. We only found out later that James had gotten a flat tire and repairs were needed, but they caught up to us. road up Santa Rosa is excellent. It is wide and well-maintained gravel road. We are not all that far from the US border. There is no access point from here, but the 49th parallel is probably only a few kilometers away. I finally caught up to James and Clay, and I got to run with the big boys for a bit. It was nice to open it up for a while. Are you waving us off?
No, that place is polluted with black flies.
Oh. Oh, that was fun!
It was, wasn't
I
it?
haven't got to do that today yet. Open it up in the 5th. We waited at the top of Santa Rosa Road for everyone to catch up. And although we blew by them, they weren't that far behind us. It was no more than 5 or so minutes before Lynn and Michelle arrived. The Santa Rosa Road summit between Christian Lake and Roslyn was an infamous undulating and unpaved stretch of highway. It was replaced by the Blueberry Pulsed route in 1961. For many years, this was one of the main routes to Christian Lake. My dad tells me stories of driving this road. In fact, he had rolled his car somewhere along this route. From the summit to the valley below, this road is not maintained, so when winter comes, it is impassable by car. Because of this, the road has deteriorated over the years, but not so much as to make it difficult to travel. Here the road splits off to the left. It ends up as a dead end on a clearing where there was logging a few kilometers away. I sent Michelle ahead and doubled back to make sure no one went the wrong way. You weren't not that far behind us. You guys are doing awesome. Especially you, Kevin. I'm very proud of your riding. You're keeping up well.
I finally got the training wheels off today.
He just got his training wheels off.
When are you going to get yours off?
Soon. I'm working on it. Yeah, after that, nobody gives a shit, right?
You actually get what you paid for.
Yeah.
That's why I know, because he had all these scratches on his highway bar.
I was gonna repaint them, right?
Why? You're just gonna go back out?
Yeah, scratch it.
It's battle.
Remember
it's
back
battle
before
scars,
the
right?
intermission I mentioned
Yeah,
the
you really
dips
did a
and I
nice
would
job.
give an explanation?
Awesome.
Well,
You've got
let
rocks
Michelle
stuck in
explain.
there.
Gonna go down to this?
Yeah.
Corner?
No, we were going through a dip, and I was too close to. My fault. I was too close to Lynn. And she stopped just at the top, getting out.
Oh.
And I went, and I was like, no. So yeah.
That's the whole point, though. Why get these kind of bikes if you're gonna be afraid to drop them?
If you don't want to drop it, get a quad.
Exactly. Well, I don't want to, but I'm not upset when I do. After a rest, some group pictures, we continued on our journey. By this time, we were almost 6 hours into our trip. We'd finally reached the bottom of Santa Rosa Road, and we're now on Cascade Road. We were in Big Sheep Creek, a small community of maybe a dozen homes. Here's Brian cruising along. Hidden under the yellow tarp is a yellow milk crate, standard option for this KLR 650. Brian prefers Adventure Crate. I was trying to catch up to Janet before she reached the other fork in the road. I was worried she might go the wrong way. No worries, she figured it out. I did wait for Michelle because she would get lost. She's not that good with directions. Who am I to talk? If you've watched some of our earlier videos, you'll know that myself and my cousin Brad made a habit of getting lost. Get off the road, damn kids! Look how they ignore me. Hockey sticks and
I just
pucks.
don't get the respect I deserve.
We were on the final leg down from the summit of Cascade Road to Roslyn, and we were going to make the most of this last bit of dirt. At one point I was not really focused. Came around a corner and started heading to the edge of a steep embankment. Thank God it was a wide corner. I had time to bring it back. I was focused after scaring the crap out of myself. Although you wait in anticipation for months to do a ride like this, after 6+ hours you're kinda glad when you are nearing the end.
Well, that was fun. That was awesome.
The final meetup spot was the Roslyn Mine Museum, where we would go our separate ways. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please give us a thumbs up and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We'd love to hear from you, so please comment below. Also, like us on Facebook at GOFAR by clicking on the link below.